Chris Tyson from mrbeast has definitely caused some huge issues with the mrbeast brand already, but it seems like it's only going to get worse for mrbeast and also obviously for Chris Tyson, as people are looking into his past and digging up some really, really bad looking things that he said and did in his past. And we'll go into all of that in this video, but it's also really affecting the mrbeast brand. And I think that something has to happen. mrbeast has to make some sort of change. I don't know if he's going to entirely fire Chris publicly. I think that would definitely be a bad look, and he would definitely get canceled by both sides if he ends up doing that. The side that I'm on would probably back off on him a little bit if he did do that, because I think that is the right thing to do. But he's already kind of had a lot of things exposed from his past that I'm sure he didn't want out there from my side of things. And then if he did fire Chris publicly, I'm sure the left would go at him like they always do. And the left is very vicious when it comes to these things. It doesn't matter what he does at that point. He's probably just going to have his entire empire crumble that he's built, which is really sad, man. It's really sad because I know that mrbeast has worked extremely hard to build the platform that he's built, to build the empire that he's built. It's not just YouTube videos. The dude has restaurants and chocolate bars and all kinds of things. So to see all of this kind of on the verge of being ruined by somebody who just, you know, is mentally ill. Like at the end of the day, that's what Chris is. He's just mentally ill. Let's check out some of these old clips, old tweets. And also we'll go over Chris privating his account after all of these old tweets are exposed of him being very, very disgusting, saying very disgusting things on Twitter. Let's check this first one out. This one's kind of more funny. This guy's being a little bit ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. Ray Kistman, I don't know how to say his last name. I've never heard of mrbeast, but I didn't have to look very far to learn he's a proud white supremacist. Like, dude, he's not a white supremacist, man. This is a joke, but it is also showcasing the fact that they used to be able to joke about these sort of things. Like, these things are just kind of normal like teenager jokes that everybody makes. You know, let's be real. Everybody makes these, especially back whenever this video was recorded. It was obviously like 5+ years ago. Like, this stuff was just a commonplace joke back then that nobody was getting canceled for. So I just wanted to show this to show that Chris and mrbeast, I think mrbeast still is, but Chris used to just be a normal dude.
Chris, I was thinking about robbing a store.
You can't do that. You'll get shot, Jimmy.
I'm white.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, it's not really that funny. Like, it's not really that, you know, well thought out of a joke, but it just showed you that Chris used to be a normal person. But as you can see here, I tweeted this screenshot out of Chris's Twitter account. His pedophilia tweets were getting exposed, so he locked his account. Too late, because all of them are already out. And as you can see right here, these tweets are protected. He locked his account completely. It's sad, man. It's sad, like I said. And by the way, if you could follow me on Twitter, I would appreciate that at Justin Lost with 2 T's, as you can see right there. But moving on, there's a lot of tweets that have been exposed from Chris. It's really disgusting. Tweet has since been deleted. Look, I like mrbeast and enjoy his content, but this Chris guy is going to be the end of his entire brand. He's an immense liability. And you know what's crazy? I think that if you probably went back through most people who are in mrbeast videos and you saw the history, if you actually did a deep dive into every single one of their Twitter histories, you'd probably find some things that are very similar to this Chris guy. The thing is, they're not transitioning and pushing this trans agenda on not only his own children, which I'll show you in 1 second, which is disgusting in itself, but also on the millions and hundreds of millions of children that they reach with every single mrbeast video. That's the thing that people have an issue with. That's the thing where it's kind of like, it's kind of groomy, you know, and I'll show you something that even points more towards that than anything that he could possibly say on Twitter in his past, because he's doing it in the present. It's disgusting. At some point, you have to decide whether you want to throw away years of hard work or sideline your friend and support them privately off camera and away from the view of your predominantly underage demographic. Chris is going to tank your entire brand no matter how much you love and support him. The issue with that is, man, if you do it publicly, if you say that, you know, Chris is fired, he's going to no longer be in the videos, then the left is going to go after you hardcore, because you can't fire trans people. You can't fire people who are transitioning. You just can't. They will definitely cancel him without question. The only way that this can be done is if Chris himself comes out and announces that he's stepping away from the channel, and he makes it seem like it's his own decision, which I think is most likely what's going to happen. Chris Tyson's most likely going to come out and say, I'm no longer going to be in mrbeast videos for the foreseeable future. He'll probably in a few months anyway realize that he made the wrong decision in transitioning and detransition, or at least attempt to. I don't know if that works or not. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how far gone he is, if he's gotten certain body parts chopped off or not. I don't know. But I think he's most likely going to realize that he was just mentally ill this entire time anyway and end up detransitioning. So here is the tweet that I think a lot of people were, you know, going after. I think this is probably the main tweet that got Chris to private his Twitter. I'm sure he deleted the tweet by now. I did also hate seeing the hate from me just turn into general transphobia, so I'm trying to make it known. Make fun of me all you want, but mess with the trans homies and, well, gun emoji. And I said this in my last video, but this was tweeted out on the 27th of March of this year, which is the same day. It was before it happened, so obviously he's not saying this after it happened, but it was the same day as the Nashville school shooting, which obviously we know that the Nashville school shooting was actually committed by a transgender person, and it was targeted at a Christian school for being anti-trans, and they had an entire manifesto for, you know, who they were going to target, that the anti-trans people that they were going to target in the future and everything. So just a really, really bad look for Chris and obviously the mrbeast brand as well. Matt Wallace tweeted this out. Transgender mrbeast co-star Chris Tyson has locked their Twitter after having tweets uncovered where he posted about being sexually aroused by lolly. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. A genre of sexual anime featuring young girls and toddlers, and posting a picture of his young boy in high heels. If you don't know about the young boy in high heels part, here is what he's talking about there. This is his son, or I'm sure soon to be daughter. You know, and it's crazy because people are like, I don't understand. Well, he even said that himself. This is just more dog whistling, and somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. People are saying, I don't understand what's the issue with him reaching hundreds of millions of kids. Like, what is he going to do? You know, sway them to be trans? Well, the answer is yes. He's doing that with his own son. Of course, he's going to do it to the hundreds of millions of kids who he's showing that it's okay to transition, that it's not a mental illness to be trans, but it's just totally normal. And if mrbeast backs it, if all the people who are in the YouTube videos with him back it, they have millions of followers themselves. So it's just a bad look. It just shouldn't be in front of kids, man. It just shouldn't. There's no way that they can make an informed decision on this, because I saw Chris brought up that point as well. There's no reason why people shouldn't be able to make informed decisions on transitioning, is what he said. Well, it's kind of impossible for 9 and 10-year-olds to be able to make informed decisions because they're 9. And that's the type of people that are watching the YouTube videos that you are in. That's the hundreds of millions of followers, the hundreds of millions of views that you're getting every single video. It's little kids. It's 9-year-olds. They can't possibly make informed decisions on this stuff. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate. It's taught by people like you. And my child will only know love. Yeah, they're not born with hate, and they're also not born with wanting to transition. They're also not born with gender dysphoria, or whatever it's called nowadays. And that's what you're giving him. You're not giving him hate, but you're giving him gender dysphoria. You're making him want to think that he is a woman by putting him in high heels and stuff like that. Tucker chose to slay this morning, dude. It's just gross, man. And people wonder why we get mad whenever someone like this is in front of hundreds of millions of kids on a daily basis. That's why. The kid from mrbeast that went trans is a pedo. That bitch looked good for a 4-year-old is something that he tweeted back in 2017. Nothing gets my knob cranking like some lolly, or I don't know how to pronounce it, lolly, whatever it is. It's just gross, man. It's just gross. And the dude deserves to not be in the videos anymore. He can't be. You can't expect people to support the mrbeast brand while someone like this is in front of hundreds of millions of kids. You just can't. So mrbeast has a very, very important decision to make going forward. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Personally, I think Chris is probably going to make an announcement acting like it's his choice to step away. And I think that mrbeast is most likely going to fire him and probably pay him a lot of money to go ahead and say that it was his choice. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the entire situation.